Not so much the other side, but for us, we're going to keep it in the side of, entertainment. Otherwise, thanks a lot for, watching West Nile Television, and it's day one of the show. Every single Mondays to Fridays, that's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Let's actually welcome our guests. That is Chuku and my brother Okot Bishop. I think let me start from Chuku. Chuku, good evening. How are you doing?
Well, thank you so much, Hassan. It's a pleasure being here. I am doing very well, and I am happy to be here to discuss this in line with entertainment. It is amazing to be on West Nile TV today to throw lights on this. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. And of course, Bishop Okot.
Yeah, actually.
Bro, you're looking awesome.
Thank you.
I see you have added some weight. I don't know what Chuku gives you out there.
No, the whole issue is no, not money.
Hey,
I've
money.
got a good lady who feeds me well. And,
okay.
I'm always proud because I get a better time to no stress.
No stress.
No stress. And just there.
Okay, welcome to West Nile Television.
You're welcome.
All right, there you go. Guys, an overview about, the MK project. I think, like we said, for us, we're taking the trend that is entertainment, and probably a lot happened over the weekend. That was on Saturday, actually, at Gulf Coast. So many artists, that is West Nile artists, performed, if I'm not mistaken, around 8 who were paid, performed, and maybe others as well came through, but just know it was a vibe. And of course, we're going to digest all these. Probably, there's a mixed reaction coming from the public out there. There are people who have actually taken a side, saying it was something that was so much bad for the artists to associate with, and others are saying, I think it was a good thing for the artists to also maybe probably interrelate with the project, knowing that it comes with some kind of like a token or some appreciation at the end of the day. If I may say, at least the artists who got 1 million out of this project. Oh yes, at least 1 million. So many artists actually got that. And of course, there's 1 or 2 who got 2 millions. Yes, and you never know what other people got. The DJs who got paid. Me personally, I was actually part of the MCs. I was also paid at some point. And of course, yeah, people will always talk. The mixed reactions will always be there.
To supplement on that, I want us to look at the value of money.
Yes.
I think most of the artists, I was a DJ, most of the artists performed the one song, 1.5 songs.
Nobody, no artist actually stayed on stage for more than 5 minutes.
It was only maybe Less Boy who had more than 2 songs. So let us look at the value, 1 million, 1 song. Is it really bad?
I think so.
That's what we should consider so much.
I thought you said it was 2M.
No, we're saying at least.
We are saying
at least,
which means
the
least
it can even be more than 2 million, but at least an artist got 1 million. Okay, let's have Chuku on this before we get to Okot. Chuku, if you have to actually break this down. I know you're one guy who is so much on social media, at least just like me. You are seeing what is making rounds on social media. Their section of public roasting the artists out there for the decisions they took. Some artists never actually got involved in this. Case in point is Monopoly, who didn't actually associate himself with this. At some point, the Black Harmony guys were not there. And of course, if you had to weigh all this, where do you think maybe the artists went wrong? Or they were spot on in their decisions?
Thank you, Hassan. You see, to be a wise person does not need you to be to acquire a certain age limit to be wise.
Okay.
First and foremost, I must say that I am one of the consumers of very good music. Okay? I'm one of the consumers of good music, and yeah, I go for the best. The artists did well, but to a great extent they did wrong.
Okay.
First and foremost, if they say a project is meant for West Nile artists or West Nile entertainment industry, and this project, according to their objectives, was to nurture talents, bring up talents.
Yes.
Right together.
Yes.
Now, first of all, if we mention the top 8 artists who were paid, these are, I can't say that they are upcoming artists.
Yes.
These are artists that have at least achieved a certain status in our West Nile here.
Established.
Yeah, they're already established. Are we together? Now, the other artists who should have had an opportunity to expose themselves so that they can identify this little talent in them were actually not given the opportunity. Now, yes, Moss was talking of 1 million, or even if it is 2 million for what? For one song on stage. Look at it from this perspective. First of all, this is a project that came to our land, which is Arua, the city of West Nile. Now, what does it mean? It means that we should have been paid more. Okay. West Nile artists should have been the ones getting the 10 million per person, per head, to perform on that stage for that project. Because this is a project that was brought down to them, I mean at home. Why should you pay an artist in Kampala 10 million, 15 millions, and a West Nile artist 1 million? For what, I mean? No, it doesn't add up. So for me, I believe that the West Nile artists, they play around with their brand. They play around. You know, maintaining that brand and working on it is altogether another issue. You need to maintain your brand, you need to work on your brand, and that is the reason as to why West Nile artists are paid cheaply. They are paid cheaply because they don't work on their brand, they don't protect that brand. So it is high time that they wake up from this dream. I believe they should wake up.
But what do you expect from a West Nile artist who has never gotten such amount of money?
Yeah, it is.
You know, you can also get excited.
That amount of money didn't even go to that category of the artists you're trying to mention in the first place. Because it went to people who are already established.
The JM Kennedys.
The JM Kennedys. If it actually went to the smallest grassroots artist that is upcoming, it would add some value to this person's what? To bring him to the scene, I mean, on top.
Sure. I think, Subten, my brother, I think the way how you have explained this thing is really so good. But what we learned from, I think we have learned something from what you have said. But to me, what was the real project all about? Because they asked the Western artists that, what do you want? What if you were to meet Mozi one-on-one, what could you maybe tell him that maybe Western artists are lacking? I think some of the artists, they came up and said, we need maybe good studio, we don't have good studio. That's why music cannot post the outside. So they have those artists who represented the West Nile, they know how they presented it to maybe to the organizers. It was not Mozi, or to the organizers who are trying to what they said, one, we don't have good studios, then two, that they don't have they want a camera for visuals. You want a very good camera.
Most, if I may interject there a little, the problem with this is leadership. Do the West Nile artists have a good leadership structure? I mean, who is representing you? Is this person competent enough to tackle the challenges that you have? Okay, we had this issue. West Nile artists came, some of them didn't even negotiate their price on their own. Someone negotiated for them. That is already a problem. Why should someone negotiate my price?
I think let me come in. Let me come in here a little bit. You see, most, these are people who came on ground first, doing their own research. You understand? They came earlier, they did their own research.
Who is trending, who is trending, well, who has been
not trending,
loved, all that.
Who is loved. So, like any other people who want to do events, they first send 1 or 2 people to come and do research and see who to work with. And 2, the whole event organization is actually not from here. These people just burst in and go to the relevant person who is on the ground. They cop up with the person to see what is there.
You know,
that is what
when the president of, let me say artist.
But if I may ask you, who is the current president?
That is JM Kennedy, who went on and performed.
But is the association still there? Because I don't hear about it anymore.
He's supposed to be, it's supposed to be there, and it is still there.
You see, there's one thing that I want maybe the viewers to know. One, the whole project, you know, like you remember when we hosted Monopoly here, he said he doesn't understand the whole thing. But if they can make him to understand what maybe Mo's project is all about, he will be maybe, and he sees where it benefits maybe the community. because he's so much into the community. That's when he can join what, and maybe he can perform and do that. But he doesn't understand the whole thing.
Oh.
That's monopoly.
Most.
Okay.
First and foremost, the organization of this thing had nothing to do with West Nile or West Nile artists. This is reality. Are we together? One, the people who organized the stage came from
Kampala.
Don't we have people who are event organizers here? Don't we have good stage? How did our people benefit? I mean, the coins that were supposed to go to people from West Nile. My co-host here, by the way, he does business of tents, chairs, hiring them out.
Yes.
But the tents and the chairs, they came from elsewhere. So our people in West Nile literally did not benefit the way it was supposed to be. What does this mean? It means that in between the MK project, we have people in between here who are very, very selfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
They talked about artists. Must they go on to select artists? No.
Nope.
The answer is no. All the West Nile artists needed to be brought on board.
And I'm told it was a West Nile thing, but I saw it was a raw thing already. I didn't see other.
Interesting.
There's one funny thing with this whole MK project.
Yes.
You know, me myself, I am someone who is on media. I do read things, and sometimes I also do my own investigation. You see, they say this thing is for the West Nile people. And me myself, I go with monopoly. I didn't understand the whole thing. Because, one, I had to put this thing in quotes. Sometimes it's a little bit political. You understand? But they kept insisting that it is not political, but it's just to show off talent. Now, you as a West Nile artist, if my question, I'll first put it to you, Hassan. Did the whole crew that were paid, did they meet the man himself?
They
Did
actually
they have access? Did they have access?
to MK? No, it was, I think, the leaders. And
And who are the leaders anyway?
of course, everyone knows West Nile artists have their leader, that is J.M. Kennedy. But in regard to this MK project, I think I was a little close to these guys, the artist. The person whom I saw was too close to the main guys. I think was Freeboy. Not even J.M. Kennedy. You know, we all know J.M. Kennedy. He's this guy who is too humble, who is too, you know, reserved.
When you're leading
and
something, you're not supposed to be reserved. You get.
He's too reserved, and this has always been there.
Then he doesn't deserve to be.
No,
president.
for now, we're not talking about his credentials in the leadership of you know, the artist. This is something we have always said. I think he's too reserved. He's this guy who is always. We have seen a lot of issues coming through from the association. One, I remember, you know, the Balam thing. It brought a lot of issues. Even the, how did they call it? The West Nile staff. That he was actually the cluster head. Still a lot of disorganization. But I think his biggest advantage for being on top of the artists, maybe, you know, being the lead of artists, is because he has been in the industry for long. He understands the industry. But in terms of his let's say personality and behaviors, I think he's too calm for
You
that
know,
position.
Hassan,
And it's supposed to be the artist to push in for that. But I see most
it
of them
is
are
never the artist.
But I
It
think
is our leader to direct us.
One thing,
Much
if
can I-
Captain is on this show here, I want him to learn one thing. You know, there are so many things that have been happening, but we lack leadership. That's the fact. We actually, I'm expecting him to spearhead anything that may be that
Yeah.
he should spearhead so that others can follow.
Okay.
But most of the time you find that he is
But
himself.
Mos, do you know that I've just realized something from your speech. It's like the whole association comes active when there is some food on the table.
True. That is it.
You see
Actually,
that?
that's the point.
When
There's nothing, the whole association dies.
It's done.
It dies. Like no
Then
one cares.
I don't see leadership there. I don't
Fifi,
see.
you are the leader yourself.
We
And
have
you're
a
the-
challenge
be
with
the
West
leader.
Nile
You
music
people-
leadership.
Yes.
You can never be.
Now,
You can be your own leader,
we have
but
seen-
when there's a president, the president has to organize how
we
even.
recently saw a lot of politics in the music industry to do with the leadership positions.
Yes, yes.
I am quite sure that these West Nile artists had their eyes all open wide to identify the attributes of a good leader who can represent them and bring out their challenges very clearly. So for this reason here, if right now West Nile artists are complaining of bad leadership, that is a trash.
Let me cut you short. I'm very
Why?
sorry. That was the first time they are to elect
A leader.
a leader in music industry.
This thing started a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I
This
know,
might be the
but
former
that
one,
was the
but they had a leader
that was
before.
the
Before, yeah.
All right,
Maybe, yeah.
I want us to divert the discussion a little bit from the leadership. I want to understand, like, how was the selection of the artists? Sukuten, according to you, maybe also come back to court. if you are to get to the selection, only 8 artists selected. West Nile has over 100, 500 artists, but they only selected 8. How was the selection?
That is something that beats everyone's understanding.
I think that was the biggest talking point. And that is where actually the hatred came
the
from.
hatred is coming from.
Yes, true.
It's not only the selection of the artists per se. It also cuts across even the MCs who performed,
Yes,
who represented on that day.
Yes.
Even the DJs. As I speak right now, we have a very big hatred that has been breeded amongst the artists. They are divided right now.
DJs,
The DJs are divided, the MCs. In fact, there is a cold war among these people that is going on. Why? Because someone had to negotiate on someone's behalf somewhere, you know, which was not the right thing to be done. Secondly, someone had to come all the way from Kampala, crossing bridges up to West Nile, and reaching West Nile to come and appoint people. You will be the one to perform, you will be the one to perform, you will be the one to perform. And yet we have a leader who would be the one to say, now under my umbrella artists union, I have this number of artists, and these are the people who subscribe to our West Nile.
That could be very organized
yes,
already.
it would have been very organized. So for
And
this, we need
artists,
this amount of money to cater for 300 artists. These ones here, this category here, they are gospel. By the way, gospel singers were eliminated.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't see any gospel singer there on stage. Much as I didn't go personally there, but I followed the whole event. Now, MK was looking at bringing up all the talents in West Nile. And by the way, it was not only entertainment as regards to only singing.
Music.
There was football. There was netball, which started earlier, and the finals were played and the winners were awarded right together. So there were so many sports activities. So the talent he was talking about was general talent. But in this case, as regards to entertainment, to be honest, the West Nile artists, I am disappointed to say this, but I have to say it because it is the reality. They bent too low.
Okay.
This is not the first time such kind of a project is coming here, and they have not learned any lesson from it. They have not learned.
Okay, quick one. Someone will say maybe they didn't bend too low. The first time they were paid 200 or 150,000.
150,000.
But this time around someone is pocketing 1
1
million.
million.
Don't you see there's a progress somewhere?
Yeah, there's progress, but to what extent is this progress, and what is bringing about this progress here? Now, an artist goes to the studio, maybe uses 400,000 to produce an audio, for example. He goes ahead, he shoots a video of maybe 2 million or 3 million. Are you together? Now, someone is coming all the way from Kampala to Arua to pay you 250,000 to go and perform. Does it make sense to you? Does it make any sense there? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Why? You're not valuing your brand and what you are investing into your music career. All these artists, don't think that these artists who are on top there, the Jose Chameleons, they
started from down.
They started from here and they made sure they built their brand. Monopoly said, yeah, you people, you have come to my land, please pay me 5 million because I know my brand. You get the point?
True.
No one should hate him for that because he knows what he's doing. I am seeing hate among the artists there. It's because they know that it is money. So what? So meaning they are just ready for any food on the plate, they are going.
Okay.
They don't name their price.
True. All right, guys. We're powered by Pepsi Uganda, Chuku Live, and of course, we are trying to analyze, you know, the MK project in relation to entertainment and West Nile artists. Let me get to Okot. Okot, a quick one. 8 artists selected. That is for the performance and all that. But again, in case leaving every factor constant.
Before I cut you short, the 8 artists, was it selected from here or in Kampala? Like, let me say, let's say.
Those people don't know these guys.
One thing that...
So there were people
we
selected.
talked about a ground check or on ground check.
You see, bro, there's one thing that even I'm surprised, because even me, I did not even negotiate my value.
Yes.
I was even just... I think somebody just...
You were called?
I was called. I went and...
And you were excited anyway.
In the first meeting.
Yes.
Without even negotiating anything.
Yes.
But later, I had actually the first time when we had a meeting, we refused that figure. We said that figure is
I remember.
Too minimum for us. We don't want that. So we gave our figures, but they were not considered. We still reconsidered what we had put before. So I think there is a problem with maybe with the promoters who already value our own artists here.
Yes.
That has to be stopped.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you cannot value an artist.
I think most brought a point.
Yeah.
Most brought a point. I was about to forget this.
That room by the negotiating.
Before these figures were actually allocated, these guys, I think, secretly met some on-ground promoters and asked them about West Nile artists. And I think the reply was, these guys can always perform at a cheap price. That is our own promoters giving that.
I think the main problem came from our guys.
Even if somebody said that, as an artist, still I believe if you value yourself more than 1 million, you still have all the powers to reject, just like monopoly.
Hassan.
But again, the point I was bringing you to was, Okot, 8 artists, like Fifi said, selected whether in Arua or from Kampala before those guys came, or they did on ground check before the selections. Who do you think?
You know, the first thing we tried to discuss about was the whole understanding the whole project.
Yes, yes.
Me, to my own understanding, the whole thing was not an entertainment thing. Entertainment was just brought as a cover.
Part of it.
Part of it. So, to add on that, the person met on the ground. They didn't do a research about the artist.
Okay. They
did it the day they arrived here. That's why they met the person who was on the ground.
I think it was done in connections. If this person is your friend,
this is someone who knows this is already money. I can't be calling everyone.
Yeah, sure.
This is something for a short minute. Let me select so and so, I call so and so, we meet here. And out of it...
And they always know that money, if I tell that person, I'm giving you this money,
yeah, because the figure, I think, the person met, discussed the figure, and that was the figure given on the ground. Out of it, called 8 people. At least one should go with this, one should go with this. You understand?
Yeah.
And these people who are met, these are people who are already versed off. Like, I want to come to my brother. I want to first say something small about LP. I have stayed with LP.
Yes, yes.
LP knows what he wants. So you cannot tell me, I go and discuss on behalf of so and so. Maybe it was the DJs who were diversed a little bit. You get it? Who were not taken important. But the first priority was the artist. Now, you don't understand the business you're going for. What you know is there is money on the table. And me, even eventually, if I have a little piece of something to eat, you see me here, I will look for Chuku. Then the rest will come afterwards.
Because
then,
you guys
we are always together. We are always together. Now, the person who was identified first looked for the closest people there.
Okay.
Now the whole thing, why people are reacting is they say it is for West Nile. Now all these young ones who are upcoming, they didn't say anything.
Just a moment, we have a problem with the promoters.
Let it first go.
We have a problem
You
with
see,
the
this thing is
promoters.
not all about promoters.
Now,
this
you
one
see,
here.
co-host, promoters gave prior information before.
That is one.
That is one. The information the promoters gave was not authentic. Why? Because these promoters are used to using our boys here for 200,000 for
Yeah.
years.
Suku, I disagree with you. Why do I
They are
say
used
that?
to using our... Why? Because, just a moment, our brothers here, they don't attach a value to their brand. That is the biggest challenge.
Now,
My brand is ABCD. I only go for shows not less than 1 million.
And
That's not
Suku,
so.
can I first cut across?
There's something that I want to throw light in. As I remember the first meeting, what they told us, Rasta, when we called Rasta, who was spearheading the whole thing. Rasta said, this is what they had their arrangement. Everything was to come from Kampala. Should it be the artist? Should it be what? Then Rasta for him, he was like lobbying for West Nile. He said, if this thing is coming to West Nile, let us use our artistic in West Nile. Everything should be here. Actually, even the sound was supposed to come from here. But I hear somebody went maybe behind and they hijacked maybe the price of the sound.
Yeah.
And they found that it was cheaper coming with sound from Kampala than hiring it here. So I don't want to go into that detail. But the fact is that the whole thing was going to be just from their side coming to perform.
You see, this is the reason why I was trying to disagree with Suku.
Actually, you remember Big Bro when they were saying that the artist actually it was Rasta who was trying to maybe to lobby that let us use maybe our artist within West Nile.
Yes.
But it was the arrangement, the pure arrangement for the West
But
project.
Mosh, why must Rasta lobby? Really?
No.
Beg? Why?
Suku, Rasta
This is
Rasta
meant for West
Rasta.
Nile. Why should Rasta
Now,
beg?
you see,
lobby for West Nile?
Another thing, let me also put another thing. I was the DJ, but the way you see even this guy they had, I'm seeing there's some artists who have been assigned or who are attached to the project already. They're already there.
They even have songs.
They even have song for
yes.
MK. So those are the artists whom maybe they wanted to use.
But the connection was
Let
not.
me show you. I had over 6 artists. Actually,
Kampala.
over 6.
I remember I invited 3.
Who are not established.
Yes.
They are just
These young.
but I think they are attached so much to the project.
They came from Kampala.
They came from Kampala.
Yes.
Now,
And even more.
just imagine.
They even more. They even
Just
more than
imagine.
that. So the whole thing
Our
was
artists from here, from Arua, actually got what we call, what I term as the airtime artists from Kampala got. Why? An artist is driving a V8, a Land Cruiser, the smallest vehicle I saw, a Range Rover, a BMW, from Kampala to Arua. You know the cost involved, driving this car from Kampala to Arua. These vehicles were fueled. The fuel was catered for in the budget.
But Suku,
now.
That was given
I've
to
told
them.
you. I've told you that this project has already some attachments. Some artists were
you see,
attached to the project.
the reason why I was trying to cut you short was in my own thinking, there was someone who was behind this thing. After you people having a meeting, one strolled away
By the way,
and went and said a negative thing towards the other artist. And 2, when the deal came, I think that person quoted himself alone, said, let me work with so and so particular kind of people.
Okay.
Get it? That's why I was saying.
Let me.
The person knew what he wanted.
Okay. Let me bring you guys here. 8 artists: J.M. Kennedy, LP Sadi, Queen G, Chandiru Leila, Virus, Andy Joe.
I saw the Wine Gabbana.
The Wine Gabbana. Who was the last one? 8 of them. King Winner and Pingo Man. King Winner and Pingo, they came as a duo. They are all actually we termed them as together. Okay, those are 8. Who do you think was not supposed to be in that list? If we say the selection was not based on who is really doing good music.
That question is very, very.
No, I want us to base it on ground
You would
check.
have said who maybe who missed, but not say who's not.
Okay, it's the same. It's the same. Who missed or who is not supposed to be there?
On the list,
I want to know which artist.
the list of artists who really missed, because Because I remember the first meeting, there were a lot of artists.
No, those guys came with their list. I mean, they came with their number. They only wanted 8 artists.
I'm still talking though.
Yes, because
first
even
meeting,
if they came 200, but those guys wanted 8 only. If you have to select from the 8,
that one came when everything was done. The 8 artists came when you guys, maybe let me leave aside, when guys have sat down. But the first meeting, there were a lot of artists. Second meeting,
I think Big Brother is very straightforward. Who should have not been there and who
In Arua,
say
we have artists.
those artists, they really deserve to be there, and there are a lot of artists who remained outside. A lot of artists. I cannot say that. I cannot.
Okay, Big
When they say West Nile artists, they didn't mean
I'm seeing.
Okay.
I want to answer the question because all of you have failed to answer the question. Who should have not been there and who should have been there? Okay, to me, I have one concern. My concern is there was no balancing when it comes to selection of the artists. We should have been having artists from Alu sub-region.
The selection came when
then Kakwa, then Lobaras.
Then Madis.
Madis, yeah, fine.
We should have, the selection should have been, because if a very big
guys needed to be represented there.
Yes, of course, me, I had a feeling that it would have involved other, other regions.
Let me put some.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, good observation. One, they called Lucky D. The only artist they wanted from Aluru land was Lucky D.
Who called?
He wanted 7 million.
Who called?
Kato.
Which Kato?
You don't know him. That's what I'm telling you.
You're supposed to explain to
Kato.
people.
If I tell you he's the head who came from Kampala, the head
I wanted to know if
Kato is not from here.
He's from Arua or Kampala.
They were asking. They asked. But all those meetings, even the first meeting, we were only, I think 10. Even most were not there. I remember. Even 50 wasn't there.
I wasn't
but
there.
I was there. The first meeting, the first day that thing started, I was there. I was seeing what was going on. The first, they asked which artist is from Aluru sub-region, because they wanted to give it like that dimension, like keep it West Nile. They said from Aluru land, let them get Lucky D. They called him. Lucky D wanted 7 million.
Hassan, you see.
Price alone, they ran away.
You see.
They called that side Slaughter. Slaughter, I think, was not around. He was not around, but at least he connected. His price was also way back their budget. But
the guys really had their own ways of putting their own price.
There's one thing with all this, you know, these things that come to us, all these events, these monies that come to our industry.
Yes.
This is something we are supposed to benefit with.
True.
You see, you cannot tell me you can bring Fik Famaika from Kampala to Arua just to do this project less than 5 million. It is 9 million. Whether you like
10 million.
Or not.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me you carry Kenzo to come here or Chameleon to come and do for you this kind of project without even benefiting. You see, these artists from Kampala, they know, I will charge this, they will buy a plot in that money, they will even build a house.
And even co-host, you see, these artists, the ones who came from Kampala, these artists, not even Balam can negotiate for them.
Yes.
No one.
Okay, quick one.
But
They negotiate their price.
Quick one.
Based on their brand.
Quick one. Let's pay King Wida 10 million. We pay Bebe Cool 50 million. Is there a balance?
No.
There's no balance.
There is no balance.
Okay, that is one. Two. Let me. I'm driving you guys to a point. I want us to understand something. Let's pay King Wida 5 million, and we bring him for this event, and we pay Eddie Kenzo 50 million. We bring him for this event. King Wida on Saturday, he comes. The following Saturday, we bring Kenzo, who will pull more crowd.
So long as the price.
Definitely, it is going to be. It's going to be.
It's going to be who?
Kenzo.
Kenzo, yeah?
Definitely.
But do we understand that these guys were looking at numbers? They want numbers in their function.
no, it is even easy. There's a time even FIFA Maika.
You get
and a Nigerian artist, one Nigerian artist who was, I don't know what, is it
No,
yeah. Is it Ruga or something like that in Kampala? FIFA Maika said, I'm not going to perform unless you give me the same amount you have given that guy. You get what I'm saying?
I really have some
So,
small questions.
that's what he said. He's not
Okay.
going to
He
perform.
understands his brand.
Yeah,
He
he's not going to perform.
understands
Okay.
his
If that guy is
price.
given, if that guy is given 100 million, that's what he wants. That's what filmmaker say. So you find that by the
But
one thing
then
that
we need to differentiate this. When Fig Filmmaker says, oh, Kenzo, okay. When Kenzo says he wants 20 million, we understand that. Why? Because Kenzo has built this over the years.
And he's bringing numbers.
The same thing these guys are
So
doing.
these guys are doing the same thing, but they are not doing it enough. That
Okay,
is what
let
we're
me
saying.
That is to you.
Let me
They are
ask
not doing it
something.
enough.
To you.
Let me ask something.
The reason
Is
as
it
to why
really-
co-host these people are accepting
That is to you.
500,000
Fine.
is
Is
because they see any money as an,
You see,
as an opportunity.
Suku,
They will not have it again.
There is one thing
Okay.
with West Nile. I want to tell you. In West Nile here, let me say particularly Arua, the city alone, the center.
Yes.
We don't do away with our own artists. We have that heart. I will even start blaming from you. There are some concerts here, if they will do them here in the city, some of you won't attend. But now, where do you want me to get my resources from? This is the opportunity. You understand?
You know.
But I want to be very open to you, co-host. This is where we disagree.
Yeah.
We disagree to agree. Why? Because you cannot tell me an artist who does not build his brand, there's a show of 30K, you are on stage. There is a whatever 50K, you're on stage. And you're telling me you're putting a concert, you need me to go and support you, bro. I will not do such a thing.
I think the main
No,
problem
you're ever on the street.
I think
What
the-
are you trying to show us?
I think the main problem
They
there
don't
comes
understand
from
the art industry.
comes from the leadership.
I
Because
can't.
if we
No.
were to sit down as artists,
Huh?
we have a leader, and then
Fifi.
first way, let me say something, and then you come
Okay.
up with
Okay.
it. We sit down like artists. Everyone names Irma Price. You get. Then Milu ahead there. You tell them, my price is this. My price is this. We can cancel the whole thing. Not Azeriki Mura. Then others also remain. You get.
You see, the
If
whole
you can put our price.
Fifi,
Yeah.
the whole thing about this is I've got some point from you. One, these artists are not organized. And two, you
That's
as an artist, you have your own management.
True.
Yeah.
You have your own management.
And no one can go above that.
Management
That's why
can come to
I
the
wanted
president.
no.
Yes. Management can come to the
I have
president
like me.
and
I
say,
am the
such a
artist
thing
myself.
like this.
You as the
we-
president of the music association, what you cannot negotiate me. You understand?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
my own
true.
management. But it is to be in a meeting whereby we are supposed to come with one language and speak
in
the
that
same.
management, there is a president, right?
Even if there is president, that president is there for the association. It's not for my
Fifi,
own.
Yep.
you see, recently I have worked with a few artists. Now, an artist as an individual, if you want to set a very good management for your own brand, you need to have a treasurer, you need to have a manager, someone who manages you. Hassan wants to take you to Koboko for a show. Do not accept to talk to the promoters on your own.
You
That
as
is
the
a
artist.
very big problem with the artists.
But I think
Hassan, as your manager, says, now look, this is what you're paying for my artists. Are you getting it? Now, for example, D-Wine will say, D-Wine will receive a call from Sudan. I want to take you to Sudan for maybe $500. Right together. Now, D-Wine will say, no, I am not in position to agree on this price. Please, here is my manager's contact. Agree with the manager. While D-Wine is in talks with the manager so that they know the least amount of money they can go and
And
perform
I
for.
think this
That is
project-
artist management. That is
Yes,
not,
true.
it has nothing to do with the leadership of the whole
Suku,
umbrella organization.
you have
But I
given
think
me a
this-
correct
this-
clue.
this,
There was
this organization, I don't know-
There
I don't
was
know how
there
it
was a
works.
time
I think it is
someone
needed
called me
to
from
president
Germany
to cover
and
everything.
said-
Oh,
Now, the president aspect comes in a way that all the
because
the
they'll be
artists, they
asking the
subscribe
president
to
from
the
that
president.
side.
Now,
Fifi,
what is if-
One thing.
One thing that you guys want you to understand is the artists they used to do with the MK project in Arua artists were not well. Okay, they just came in as maybe
they were hijacked. Because they are hungry.
Very clear. Remember, that was very clear.
That is where the problem comes.
There is no budget for what?
West Nile artists.
You get me? Everything, they had their artists from Kampala who are coming.
They had even refused.
So what is the point?
They don't have any budget for that.
Any budget for us.
Now, since they never had any budget for Western artists, then anybody who was charging higher was...
Then why do you bring this kind of project and you mention it's for West Nile? What is the benefit?
Let it not be West Nile,
Let it
be
be-
monopoly, let it be rubber,
Hey.
let it be
The idea of this project was not...
You see-
First of all, we didn't even get...
You see some of these things I am understanding. These people come here to play with our mind.
Most can represent.
If I write
And the LCs were not there.
Most can-
LCs were not even brought.
I was representing you. babe. All right, I think we're winding up.
Bari kavi bomise.
Amadi Fasi. Amana dusu birirusi. Amota.
Ira.
Amai. Sanda already. Bava Amadi Fasi. Muki.
Senda la mino su miliona lo me na urusiro.
Most data fazirawa.
Let us use the language because you are some people that are not understand what we are saying. But I think this is West Nile TV, so let us use a common language that maybe how the viewers can understand.
Yeah, so I was trying to bring that from the home perspective.
Yeah, he was trying to.
From
Okay,
the
fine.
from the home perspective, that on the West Nile, by the way, some of our artists, our West Nile artists, one of the good ones, they don't speak so good English.
Yeah, true.
But they use our local language fluently and we understand their music to a point.
True.
And that is what we call. Do you know why a Nigerian speaks the Nigerian local language deep down in the village
And you sing.
selling in Dubai?
And you are here vibing.
And we are here shaking, we don't even understand some of the
Okay.
words. Back to that, I think the MK project top management worked with the wrong team. That is my conclusion. Worked with the wrong team.
The wrong team of
the wrong team of
entertainers,
organizers. The wrong team of organizers.
Okay.
Who then came up to with a team of, I can say, I don't want to use that word, but it really comes, English. If you're not careful, you can use words that are unacceptable.
Okay.
So the people they worked with right from there, and the people they bumped into. I want to use that word. They bumped into.
So cool. Quick one. As we wind up,
Yes.
I asked this question. No one has answered me. Let's not beat around the bush. Did we have the creme de la creme of West Nile music on that stage?
No.
No, eh?
No.
Okay.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
No.
Who
The
missed?
answer is no.
Who missed?
No.
Real quick. Who missed?
It's just no.
No. Who missed? Who missed on that performance
On the list?
Yes, on the list.
On the list?
Yes.
A lot.
A lot. I was thinking of Asha.
Asha Yuji?
Asha DMK.
Asha
DMK.
DMK, yes.
Yeah.
From
Then,
Maniland needed to be there.
What of this lady?
Obviously,
First
we know.
of all,
What of Sisi?
you are forgetting one key thing here.
From Alura?
The Queen of West Nile, Jackie Chandiru, missed on that, and I owe these people an apology for that. I mean, they owe me an apology.
And two,
Why will the Queen of West Nile,
Chuku.
Jackie Chandiru of all artists,
me,
before you even speak
let me also let me come quick.
like that?
If I was also to remove artists there,
You will remove who?
I'll remove Pingoman, then I'll remove Jem Kennedy.
It was all about connection.
Yes, I'll remove these two. Why? And I'll even remove King Koda. Why? They don't deserve to be there. They have been quiet for so long.
Let's wind up. Okay.
Yes, I'll remove King Wida, I'll remove Pingoman, I'll remove Jem Kennedy.
But why?
Then I'll even remove Tanderu on top. Hey, they don't deserve to be there.
The reasons for that.
So who will you add?
You were fearing that question. So I've answered.
If Hassan is talking of the cream of West Nile artists, music that really melts the heart, music that puts West Nile on top of the chart, then you cannot fail to talk about the following artists, to mention but a few. Of course, Divine will be there, but before I mention Divine, the Queen of West Nile must
Jackie Chandiru.
have been there.
Okay.
Jackie Chandiru.
Okay.
No matter where we go.
For you, you're fighting for your own
Then
peace.
too, we needed, I'm not fighting. That is the truth. Because
Then
we
we
want
need,
the bread.
okay, we need a rule.
We need monopoly.
Yes, yes.
Monopoly who is...
You remove for us four. Don't beat around the bush. Remove four.
Eh?
Remove four.
Ando Frank.
Okay, don't say now. Now you remove. So go you remove now. We are
The
leaving.
bullet survivor should have been there.
You remove.
And then you remove. Who are you removing?
If I am to remove,
No,
I don't want to go into that one. I want to remain reserved. For the love of the entertainment industry, concluding, I just want to say that my brothers, my sisters, the first audience, the first people who listen to your music are we, the West Nile people. The people from home here are the first audience to your music. And that means you start selling from, charity begins from home. You will start selling from us. It is us who sells your music to the outside world. You get the point?
Yeah.
2, let us avoid being selfish.
True.
Let artists back each other. I've seen them being good at beefing one another, but they cannot come and work together for a collab that will make a hit in the whole of Kampala, in the whole of East Africa, in the whole of Africa.
Okay.
They need to work on that. Thirdly, they need to protect their brand.
Okay.
A brand is a very key thing in
Okay.
this industry.
Okay.
They need to work on that brand.
All right. There you go. Suku, thanks a lot. He has a lot of points. I know him, at least he talks too much, but because of time, I think. Oh, God, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
She has to be. She has to be recognized, and they have to apologize to the Queen of West Nile. How can you come to West Nile without the honor of the home, the Queen of the home?
Okay, God.
You stop there.
Oh, God, let's summarize. 30 seconds.
Today you got me in a good mood. To my West Nile artists, we are your fans. Me, I am not an artist.
Yes.
But the only piece of advice I can give to them is learn how to keep your brand. Don't be money hungry.
Okay.
Be like Monopoly. Be like the rest.
Okay.
Like
even Rati Solo,
like
Guys,
nothing at home, you hustle. Why did you come to music
let's
industry?
find out. We're powered by Pepsi. Let's go, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Why did you come to music industry? You have a high side.